We have a challenge. The greatest challenge in the history of humanity. There's a world to save. Each and every one of us must rethink, reprogram ourselves, and change the way that we usually do things. The construction industry makes up around 40% of our total CO2 emissions. The king of wasteful thinking, really. Drastic change is required to reduce our new build carbon footprint from the current 1,000 kilograms of CO2 per square meter down to 300 kilograms, which is the 2030 target. That's steep, but not impossible. And above all, necessary. And it has to be a team effort, where every detail counts when building a new construction standard. At NorDan, we try to lead by example. We've done it for nearly 100 years now. We try to do our part by improving ourselves through our products. More than 90% of an ordinary NorDan window frame is made from timber, which is a natural carbon sink. It keeps the embodied carbon figures among the lowest in the industry, with CO2 emissions from NorDan less than half of aluminium or UPVC windows. Compared to other composite materials in the market, there is no comparison. With U values as low as 0.7 and unbeaten durability, even in harsh coastal environments, it gives any house the homeliness it deserves for generations to come, which comes in handy when facing the fact that the UK needs to build 350,000 new homes each year to meet the demand. So why is timber an excellent building material? For one thing, it's carbon negative. It absorbs and stores more carbon than it emits during its growth time. From a full-grown tree, we can extract material for building 30 windows. When a NorDan window is installed in a home, it will stay there for at least 60 years, keeping the home well insulated and energy efficient. You see, we like to commit ourselves long-term. It's the only way, if there's going to be a long-term at all. At NorDan, we are ready to do what it takes to reverse the climate change. Please join us. There's a window of opportunity. And that is now.
Welcome everybody to our second game of the day here at the NorDan British Handball Super Cup. My name is Jack Ollinson. You're about to be watching Olympia versus EK82 for the third place playoff in the men's competition. Olympia, who played yesterday against Livingston, ended up Livingston coming out on top of that one. North East Manchester Hawks beat EK82, and that's how EK82 find themselves here. They also play in their black kit. I believe they've got about 3 different kits. They played in green yesterday. They've got a red kit, and here they are in their black. There was the player that made an enormous difference for EK, and that was Ryan Keeley. And as soon as Hawks figured out that they needed to basically take him out of the game, EK's sort of rhythm and their goals dried up just a touch as well. If we're having a look at who the maybe top scorers was, well, I've already given you a hint of EK's. Keeley got 8, but Rowan Perry got 5 himself, so did Ewan Duff. Chris Mowat with 3, Greg Hughes with 3, Ben Muir with 3, as well as Marley Bower, who I think went off injured. It'll be interesting to see whether Marley's back with us today. Hopefully he is. Robin Perry ended up getting 1 goal, and so did Christian Agobonten. So, in fact, no, Christian actually was a goalkeeper, wasn't he, for that yesterday. Ewan Hunter was the other goalkeeper. and he ended up with 11 saves to his name, which is quite sensational actually for EK82. If we're talking about Olympia, well, their danger man is certainly Barbarius, if yesterday is to go by. 6 goals to his name. Fitiera from left wing is also he's had 4 goals yesterday, so did David Chadera. He was a little bit quieter than we were expecting him, and so was another player as well, who was Mantes Trenes. He didn't exactly have the best game. He only actually ended up scoring 1, but their goalkeeper, Matias De Paolo, had a massive game. It wasn't good enough to beat Livingston, which the score was 27-21 in the end. But Del Paolo ended up making 11 saves as well. So again, EK and Olympia have very strong players in between the posts. I'll give you the full rundown of the who we've got playing for us today, the numbers and everything like that. For Olympia, we've got the number 1, Mohamed Banorama. For number 2 is Bastos Colera, and I just realised that I'm probably better off reading off this post. Bastos Colera. Number 7, Veselin Georgiev. Number 88, Francisco Fitiera. Number 9, Lucas Barbarius. Number 10, Mantas Chinez. Number 11, Andrea Cavalucic. Number 16, Matos De Paolo. Number 17, I'm going to read off another sheet because he spelled it out phonetically for me, and he has given me permission just to call him by his first name. Jonas Perkeyas. Number 22, David Chowdera. Number 23, Thomas Balanosis. Number 24, Daniel Bereznichu. Number 26 has also given me permission just to use his first name, Pavel Tatavinchev. Number 33, Tomé Salgado. Number 37, Amin Ben Musa. And number 89, Roland Austs. The officials for Olympia, Nelson Oliveira. For EK82, we've got the number 1, Ewan Hunter. The number 2, Rowan Perry. Number 4, Chris Mowat. Number 5, Greg Hughes. Number 6, Ben Muir. Number 8, Marley Bauer. Number 10, Ryan Keeley. Number 11, Ewan Duff. Number 12, Christian Agboten. Number 14, Duncan Home. Number 15, Dean Nailson. Number 20, Hayden Legowski. Number 21, Robin Perry. Number 24, Cameron McEwen. Number 25, Sam Charles. And number 30, Blair Gavin. On the bench for them today is Michael Lavery, Jack Lees, Angas Slevin, and Ross Duncan. And that is both of the teams. It's a little bit distracting. That you may be able to hear over the mics on the court actually that I was reading that out at basically exactly the same time as our PA announcer Dave, and it was that's why I sort of tripped over myself a couple of times. I do apologise. But this is the 3rd place playoff in the British Super Cup. Plenty to play for. 3rd place trophy to be playing for. And as a 3rd place prize, you end up getting the bronze medals, obviously, and potential participation into the European stages of competition as well. We're hoping to see whoever comes out on top in this game will actually take advantage of that as well. The 2 referees, Matthias Falt and Michael Holm, both reside in Gothenburg in Sweden. Olympia yesterday, it was seen that Livingston seemed to find their way to suffocate any kind of rhythm that Olympia managed to try and build up. So they ended up taking a fair amount of shots, and to be fair, scoring a fair amount of goals as individuals for sort of pop shots and forcing it from the backcourt, but specifically from that left-hand side, that left wing area is where they predominantly score most of their goals. EK82, they were slightly disappointed apparently, according to Ewan Hunter that we were chatting to before, dad of Ewan Hunter, the goalkeeper here at EK82, but they were slightly disappointed with their performance against Hawks yesterday. Equally, Hawks were slightly disappointed against about their performance against EK, so it's I don't think really either team were particularly pleased with the game. They'd probably like to repeat it again, but Hawks probably won't because they are into the final. They need to just iron out some things. Whereas EK, they're very fast. They play in a very similar manner to Hawks. For any of the English followers out there, they play in a very similar fashion. In fact, they ran Hawks off the court for the first 5 or 6 minutes. expect them to be fast, fairly disciplined, but yesterday, defence wasn't quite there. It's a fairly young team EK have, but we are underway here in the third place playoff in the NorDan British Handball Super Cup. High fives all round. And these two teams, I don't believe, have played each other for a very long time. Well, certainly not this season anyway, so it's a bit of a learning curve for both of them. They will have seen, obviously, watched their games from yesterday. EK watching Olympias, Olympias watching EKs, etc., etc. And it's a good step already, but a good interception by Fitiara. Number 88. Some may consider to be slightly lucky to have stayed onto the court yesterday after hitting the goalkeeper in the face, actually. Off a left wing shot, but he did manage to stay on. The referees even afterwards were a bit sort of like thinking, oh, was that actually supposed to be a 2 minutes? I'm not entirely sure. Big shot, carrying off the deflection of the defenders and then off the crossbar itself. Here's Balberas moving the ball out to the right wing. And a good start for Olympia. They go straight up the other end. It's Tomé Salgado with the first goal for them. First goal of the game as well, of course. Great breakthrough, but it's again off the post. The volley rebound comes to the number 6. For EK, Ben Muir. Goal to him, and I'll tell you what, if this game continues in this sort of fashion, we're in for a treat. Very high scoring. 2 goals in less than 2 minutes. It doesn't look like EK are playing quite as aggressive a defence as Livingston did with a 3-2-1 yesterday. That might mean that Olympia can actually get some plays going, get some rhythm into their game, rather than just waiting on individual brilliance, which we saw a lot yesterday. Can actually hear chants of Olympia outside, so they've clearly brought some support with them all the way up into Edinburgh. Obviously based in the capital down in England, in London. A long way for them to travel. So bringing any kind of support is pretty impressive. Good step by Barberas. Forcing the pass out there. Wasn't picked up. And EK can get themselves up. Look at this. I feel like Olympia have learnt something maybe from the game they watched yesterday, and Keeley is very closely marked. He's not allowed any kind of space. There he goes. He goes to the step, gets around his defender, and is saved straight away from De Paolo. That's going to be the problem for Keeley. Every time he gets the ball after bursting away from his defender, he's going to want to have that feeling of shooting. He's not really going to be able to get involved with the play. He's going to want to do it all. It just so happens that that's what happens, really. Great movement between the two players, and a good goal there by the number 10. That's Mantas Trenez. Didn't take him long to get his first goal in this game, even though we had to wait about 55 minutes for him to have one yesterday. The 2-1 to Olympia. Look at Keeley. I'm not sure he's going to be able to keep running all that way. He's probably hoping Salgado doesn't have the fitness with him either. It doesn't matter if EK can score the goals like that, though, from the right wing. That's Ewan Duff. Played predominantly left wing yesterday. Seems to be able to pop up on either side. You can see the West London Eagles women's team on the right-hand side, well, on the bleachers on the right-hand side. Chinez moved the ball. Big shot there from the backcourt. Not troubling the goalkeeper too much as EK try and charge at the field. Here we go, starting to put some pace into the counter-attack. Fast transition, bounce it over to the right wing. Ewan Duff again, but he can't get the angle this time. And that's just a glimpse, I think, into what EK are going to be trying to do for the rest of this match. That's potentially the way they're going to get Keeley into it as well, if they try and break on Olympia before they can set their defence up. Whereas Olympia, their transitions are never really as fast. They like this sort of slower build-up play where they use their physicality to get through the field. Fitiera with a little whip, and a little whip into the top corner as well. Very important player for them. Number 88, as I was giving him the goal on my sheet, there's a 2-minute suspension for the number 9, Lucas Balberas. And here's how it happens. He just sort of like puts him to the floor, and actually there's sort of more of a collision with the 26 of Pavel as well. But here goes Keeley. Likes to move an awful lot on his penalties. Big fakes, big exaggerations, big hit of the post as well. Well, that's not really the start he was hoping for. His chances are going to be few and far between if he's going to get marked out by Tome Salgado. On my team sheet, Fitier is actually down as a number 8, but he's playing in the number 88. Amin Ben Musa playing in the 73, not the 37. And Roland Austs is playing in the number 89. I can actually hear a big chance from outside, but I'm guessing, actually thinking about it, that'll be the women's team, won't it? Who obviously they're going to be travelling up because they're playing in the next game against West London Eagles. Passing play is called, and the goal is squeezed in. Ewan Hunt giving a bit of an apology, knows he should have done better with that. Keeley trying to 360 no-scope it in the air. He gets the play though, because he's ended up travelling, and well, if he managed to get the shot away while spinning in the area instead of travelling, that would have been amazing. But he couldn't quite manage it. He's not Superman, not Captain America just yet. He moves the ball out to the left. Stepping up there is number 24 from Olympia, trying to disrupt their play. Out to the left wing, no. And there's the goal for the number 5. Greg Hughes for EK82. EK, of course, standing for East Kilbride, which I don't think is that far away from where we are. I'm actually looking over towards my producers. No, they're shaking their heads. It's not that far away. Actually, I know very little about Scottish geography, I'll be honest. I know Glasgow and Edinburgh, and that's about it. My naivety in my English ways. So it probably feels very much like a home game, really, as it's not a penalty. He was outside the area, the number 6, when he made the tackle, but the number 24 potentially with a bit of a collision to the face. Beres Nichu. As Trinares starts to get the ball back moving. Obviously, Olympia, a player down, so they're going to have to work hard. Be physically fit about this. Balberis comes back onto the court, though, as the Lion player, Beres Nichu, ends up squeezing the ball in. Olympia spreading the goals around, which is a little bit better than what they did yesterday. To be fair, there was quite a few different scorers. It just so happens that Balberis scored about 7, or 6 actually, and everybody else scored only about 1 or 2. A few people chipping in with about 4 goals. Big block there. Number 7 trying to get the shot away for EK. And the really helpful thing is I don't have a number 7 on my team sheet. I'll try and figure out who that is. Yeah, no, I don't have a number 7. So I'm not entirely sure who that player is in the centre. I will find out at half-time. If anybody recognises him, feel free to tweet me at Jack Oliphant. I think Jacko Racing. Let me know who he is. I'll keep an eye. Oh, I know who that is, though. That is Keeley. Rocketing into the top corner. You even hear a little clip of the post. That's how far into the top corner it really was. Olympia leading by 1 then, 5-4. It's setting up to be one hell of a game with 8 minutes in. Balberis in the centre, trying to cross with Berednicu. A little spin, little windmill, and he's managed to get through. The defence from Ewan Dove wasn't good enough. And Jonas ends up taking advantage of it. As I said, Jonas has given me permission to try and just use his first name, but anybody out there who didn't hear me before while I was reading it out maybe has just joined us. It's Jonas Prekayas. Even as I said that, he sort of gave a bit of a smirk and said, yeah, that'll do, good enough. So I'm going to go for Jonas. As Keeley, well, no foul given. And the ball is cannoned up to the top, and it's intercepted by that mystery man, number 7. Let's see if the number 7 is listed on any of the other kit lists that I've been given for EK, because they have given me 3. It may well be Dean Nielsen. And I can't see Nielsen. He's supposed to be playing in number 15. So if a number 15 appears, then I'll take this back. But I'm going to call him Nielsen for now. I'll try and keep an eye out for that. So, as the ball starts to build up some pace. Chinez on the back court. You can't let him shoot from the back court. Because they will punish you, Olympia. That's what they try and do. They're very tall, very physical, backcourt shooters. They won't necessarily run through you all the time. They've got a few technical players that can do that, Fitiera being one of them. But ultimately, most of their moves, most of their play is based around trying to get one of their halfbacks or even centre, as Balberas, obviously, very good backcourt shooter as well, up into the 9-metre zone to take that kind of shot that they've just attempted there, but they're unable to succeed in it. So 7-4 the game. 3 goals in it. EK haven't really been able to transition. That's Nielsen. And no foul given. He definitely thought there was a clip of the hand. Not to be, though. And Olympia, in comparison to how they were playing against Livingston yesterday, looking like a very well-rounded team. Fitiera and Salgado. Brezanicu on the line here, nice and strong, getting the shots away. It's not just the backcourt that are swinging in with the goals today. Flexing their muscles here, 8-4. EK, I'm sure, won't be overly worried, but as I said yesterday, once Hawks figured out that Keeley was the main man, was the key to their success, taking him out of the equation, there was a lot more joy for them. And it looks like Keeley, I think, ooh. Referee's not very happy with this one. I'm just trying to figure out what all of that meant, really. I would love to know if anybody out there is a lip reader. Would have been quite cool to see. But, yeah, I think ultimately there was a foul. I think EK were looking for more of a foul. Potentially at 2 minutes. The whistle didn't get blown. He launched it into the top corner. In all fairness, it was a great finish, but the referee wanted to take it a little bit slower. There we go. Now he allows a play to start. Handball's a quick game, but you have to adhere to the rules, obviously. And there it is, Keeley trying to force that ball to the line. Gets the foul though. And you can see, really, even though Keeley's got all the way to the left wing, and you might think, okay, they might just defend normal 6-0 against that. Look how much space there is between the 1 and 2 defender there. You almost can't see Salgado half the time because he's marking Keeley that closely. That's how well he's doing his job. It's like watching Ji-Sung Park against Messi back in the day. Although we all know how that ended up, so let's see if Keeley can actually get the better of that in the end. Chinez moving the ball, not very successfully, but it does find its way to Fitiera, who looks for the lob, comes off the crossbar. Salgado! I don't think he actually picked up the ball in the end. He's going to give it as a great save, but there wasn't much of a reaction from outside, so I assume he didn't actually get it. That's a step, though, from the number 4. He couldn't finish it off, but it was a good step from him, from Chris Mowat. I'll give the save to Mohamed Banrama, who I believe at the moment is in goal for Olympia. Although yesterday it was Matthias De Paolo for the majority of it, so we'll have a look when they actually go at the other end which one it is.
Open up. Play open.
EK stepping up to 9 meters, but every time, oh, Balberius! Well, I was trying to think of specific words that were good enough to describe that bounce and that fake. I actually failed, which is a bit of a shame as a commentator, but that was absolutely sensational. He goes for the shot. They all know how poignant he can be from that 7, 8, 9 meter. But he took the bounce, sold them all for a hot dog, and thought, you know what, I'll take the easy 6 meter shot. Thank you very much from the centre of the court. Here he goes again. Better defence by Ewan Duff there. Chanez goes for the windmill. Tries to get the shot away. Foul given. You can hear the Olympia support outside as well, still singing away. 9-4 is the score. Winning the game by 5. They'll be very happy with that one. Big shot from the backcourt. Hit pretty hard as well, but it's a good save. As EK very much slowing it down. This is not really what I expected. I think there was a lot of discussion about them being a little bit more disciplined going into this game. It doesn't necessarily mean abandoning the game plan for going fast, though. We saw them with the most amount of success when they really went to Hawks and they actually threw everything at them. They're trying to charge it up now, but as if they're playing without a left winger, really, and that's a bit difficult when you've got lots of space. In theory, with Salgado pretty much out the game, though, as well, you're effectively playing 5 versus 5. That's 5 versus 5, yeah, on the out court. I had to do my maths quickly there. It's technically 6 versus 6 with the goalkeepers, but... So with Salgado marking Keeley out, you've got to wonder whether he's got the stamina to do that all game. But to be fair, Keeley just seems to have gone to the left wing and almost given up the fight. He was running around pretty much everywhere when he first got man marked out, and now he just doesn't seem to be moving. And the problem is that may well keep his stamina up high, but it'll also keep Tome's stamina up high as well. As a bit of forced movement there. Here goes Keeley, and they can break, and there's pretty much no one in between. But that doesn't mean the goalkeeper's not there. Matthias De Paolo with a massive save for Olympia. And it was in goal earlier on as well, so technically that's the second goal that I'm going to second save that I'm going to credit him with. And well, if you're EK82, you're probably thinking I've got to, in a weird way, got to get Keeley off. Because at the moment, one of their biggest strengths yesterday was that they were playing as a team. They don't seem to be playing as a team at the moment. And he's had a couple of opportunities. And I think he needs a bit of a reset. And I think EK need a bit of a reset as well, to be honest, because the score is 10-4 now. But as Nichu getting another goal. I'm amazed, to be honest, that we haven't had a timeout called in the first 16 minutes by EK. Maybe the coach is thinking that the players have got to be out there, they've got to figure it out themselves, but the second line player comes in and it's another shot from 9 metres under contact, which is a fairly easy save for De Paolo. 10-4 the score. EK have really struggled since Keeley's gone out to that left wing. He's finally trying to get back involved in the action now. Feeds it out to the left wing. There's a bit of space. De Paolo's still there, though. It comes to Ewan Duff, who doesn't make any kind of mistake. And finally, EK makes some kind of connection on that left-hand side. It results in a shot, which didn't result in the goal, but deflections and everything else meant that they did get the opportunity to they're now only half the score of Olympia. Olympia riding the tackles, trying to take the contact, strong enough to do so whilst offloading the ball. It's not the fastest, it's not the most beautiful and pretty way of playing, but for Olympia right now, it is an effective way. Here come EK. Chadeva trying to move the ball along. And before giving the ball away there. Just trying to think who was, I didn't actually catch the goal score in the previous attack. I'm going to give it to Jonas, I think, as it came from that side where he was, roughly. Movement from Chaneres, trying to give him the step, trying to get the shot away. Number 23 for Olympia, Balonanis. Trying to get the play going from the centre of the court. Here goes Janez. Oh, ends up sliding into a player. They go for the fast break. EK, though, is the number 6. And here he is with the goal as well. Ben Muir his second of the game. 11-6 now. EK are finally starting to get through again. They had a bit of a quiet spell, but now starting to turn the heat up. All Olympia need to do is to keep doing what they're doing, taking the fouls, taking the tackles, riding them, offloading the ball, finding the line player, but that's not the way. He almost got caught in two minds. There were too many options. Neither of them were the best one. EK moving up the court, and it's that mystery man who I'm going to call Nielsen. As I said, I don't have a number 7 on my team sheet, which is a shame. Don't want to get his name wrong either, because he looks pretty built. Don't want to get on the wrong side of him. He's coming up, trying to put the pressure on. This is a more aggressive defense from EK. Look at that, they're already outside the 9 meters, whereas before, at the beginning of this game, they were hunkered well within 7. That's a travel. And this is the thing, Olympia, they like playing around the back court, and they're getting suffocated with the space now. Next 10 minutes for half time. Are we going to see a swing of momentum? Are EK going to get back into this, or Olympia going to get back hold of this game? At the moment, the last couple of minutes, it's gone EK's way. A little bit of a cross. This is a very narrow side of the court that they're now playing handball on, but it doesn't matter because Nielsen gets through again. Eight, 11. All of a sudden, it's a 3-goal game. It was once 10-4. In that time, EK, in the last 3, 4, 5 minutes, EK managed to score 4 themselves, and Olympia only 1. And it doesn't look like they're going to be scoring this time either. 21 minutes in, 9 to go with this first half. They could well be going into this with EK in the lead, or at least them being level. Blocked from the centre of the court means the ball runs out of play. They're moving around. Here goes Keeley trying to get the ball, giving the fake. Tries to offload it as well. A bit of a slap from him, and for him even, I should say. It was Veselin Georgiev who's come on and is given the task of marking him now rather than Tomei. And yeah, that was a bit naughty, wasn't it? Really, a slap over the shoulder. The ball was on the far side, and it's going to be a 2 minutes. Georgiev, he's come on, instantly had to man mark Keeley, and instantly got sent off. And, well, we said the momentum could shift. These could be massive, these 2 minutes. What do EK have up the locker? They're going to probably want to score 2 or 3 without reply here. Keeley is now free. He'll be keen to get into the goal. He's had a couple of opportunities. He's had a penalty. He's had a fast break, neither of which have come off. He tries to behind the look pass to the line. A bit ambitious. Great recovery there by Nielsen, sparing the blushes of Keeley. And they go at the other end. There's space. It was on the right. They decide not to take it. Here goes Nielsen. Here is the space on the right. And it's bounced into the roof of the net. And it was a number 14 for EK, Duncan Home. I'm sure they'll be cheering that at home as well, hopefully. And EK do get a back into this game, I would say. I think that's Olympia with the timeout. Right-hander from the right wing. He didn't even lean over that much. The goalkeeper will be disappointed by that one. And they'll also be disappointed getting those 2 minutes. It was a foolish error by Georgiev. He was never really going to get the ball, not at that angle. He was only ever going to get the shoulder of the player. It'd be a high tackle. I wouldn't be surprised if Salgado comes on just to do the job that he was doing before, and that's keeping an eye on Keeley. Had Julius Stenhouse in here and correcting a fact that I did get wrong. I've been calling number 7 Dean Nielsen. That's very incorrect. It's Rowan Perry. My apologies. So yeah, on the delegation list, they did change that up. So Dean Nielsen is the number 15, and there is the number 7, which is Rowan Perry. Does make quite a lot of sense considering Rowan had a good game yesterday. He wore the number, he wore a completely different number yesterday as well, which really doesn't help. He wore number 11, scoring 5 goals. Well, he's well on his way to scoring another couple now. Scribble off. Unfortunately, Nielsen, I'm going to take you 2 goals away from you. Give them to Perry. Sure, you'll understand. Aha. Mop boys, or mop volunteers, I should say, going on there. Bit of a strange mop, to be honest. It looks like a broom with a towel on the end rather than an actual mop. And yeah, not very effective. Best thing to do is just get a normal towel on the looks of it, rather than whatever contraption that was on the end of that stick. Get out there with a nice microfiber. There we go. Oh, they're going to attempt it again. Thrilling stuff here at the British Super Cup. NorDan want a sponsor. This does happen though, if you're wondering why we're watching towels mopping the floor at the moment. It's a lot of it is just because a lot of it in the timeouts, you'll end up having water spilt on the court. But I think a lot of the majority of the time, you're actually seeing defenders slip over or attackers slip over, leaving a nice sweaty mark on the court, which obviously is very slippery. You don't want another defender or another attacker to go and slide on that, pull a hamstring, pull a groin, or whatever else as well. So, yeah, very important role is the mop boy. I'm not just saying that because I did it at the Olympics. Number 24, Nichu gets another goal to his name. That's 4 now. Olympia, you felt needed that. They hadn't scored for a couple of minutes, and EK had come back at them strong. And especially as a player down, Olympia definitely wanted that. I'm surprised that EK actually went a little bit more aggressive on that defence. They're going to have about a minute left of the power play, maybe even only about 30 seconds, as Perry throwing it out, trying to get the space. Oh, it's thrown away though. Number 4 forcing it, Chris Mowat. Just get the ball back round, move it from right to left, left to right. All of a sudden the spaces will appear magically. Doesn't need to be forced. Keeley going very high on the aggressive defence to try and force a mistake. Well, Keeley had not much to do with that mistake, but there was a mistake. Bit of just a poor pass, really. Lapse of concentration with 7 minutes to go. Here is Mowat trying to find the number 30. Player Gavin. Olympia hold on to the ball, and they're looking just to see off these last couple of seconds. In fact, there we go. They're back up to full complement. Treniers, as soon as he realises that, I don't think he even did realise that, to be honest. He just went for the shot for the back court. (12-9) then, 3-goal game. Said many a time during the broadcast today and yesterday that 3 goals really doesn't mean a lot when going into half-time for handball. If it's anything less than 5, it's not really worth being too worried, because you can just easily convert 3 goals in about 90 seconds if you break up the court. That's a great save by Mohamed Benarama. And up the other side, Olympia force the ball to the line. They don't make it. A long pass up. They do make that one, and they're going to make it work. There it is, Keeley with his second goal of the game. The last couple of minutes, just over 5 to go. Nice little move through the centre of the defence there. EK won't be very happy about that one. The number 22. That was the 22 for Olympia. I just realised all my notes were in the wrong order. David Chadera. Keeley trying to force the issue, but now with Olympia back up to full strength, he seems to be getting marked out of it again, so he returns to his left wing position. And I'm sure a lot of what EK are talking about in halftime will be about how to deal with that, what else they can do. Well, sticking it in the bottom corner from 9 metres is a pretty good way to start. And that's Ben Muir, yet again, his third of the game. Seems to be taking the initiative himself and weighing in with his fair share of goals. Ewan Duff as well with 2. Rowan Perry with 2. Duncan Home with 1 and Greg Hughes with 1. And of course Ryan Keeley with 2 as well. Get the ball to Belasnichu. He seems to be finding a lot of joy with finding him. The number 24. He's got 4 goals so far. Actually, top scorer in this game. Trenares looking to get the ball moving. Rowan Perry marking out one of the players, but Trenares. But that's one hell of a save, and the number 12 from EK, Christian Agbonne. Really good save by him. Spanish, born in 2006, used to play at Balonmano Malaga, and he's been with us for 2.5 years apparently at EK. Well, he made a bit of a name for himself then, didn't he? The goalkeeper. And he gives EK another shot at getting into this half time, potentially level. Oh, that's going to be a foul. Went up for the shot. See Blair Gavin. Touched in the air, but I think it was sort of controlled. I think I'll say it was controlled. It's the only reason why I can think it wasn't anything more than just a standard foul. Blair Gavin didn't really seem to think so anyway. Big shot there by the number 7, Rowan Perry. Well over the crossbar though, and Olympia live to fight another day. Can they go back 3 in front, get their lead back? I don't think the referee's given anything. No, he's given a standard foul, and here we go. It's towel time. They try and scrub the sweat off with their feet. It doesn't look like we're going to need any kind of assistance here. Going to get the ball back rolling. So Trenares, Chadira, right back in the centre at the moment. Balanosis at that left back position as well. There he goes, straight through, but a great save again by Christian in goal. EK move up the other end of the court. Great step, great save. Taylor 2 goalkeepers in the last 30 seconds. What can happen? What can Christian do about this one this time? And it's not a save, it's a goal. Olympia way through. Georgiev, after having that 2-minute suspension, comes back on, makes an impact. He's asking, are they 5-1? Are they still marking the player out of it? As EK have a discussion amongst themselves, there is Georgiev actually going to mark Perry. I'm guessing Keeley not on the court anymore. Unless they're marking 2 players out, which I'd be surprised at. There's no left winger. Yep, absolutely no left winger. So Perry is the person starting to get the attention now. He seems to be the threat that's on court. And even though Keeley's off, Olympia's still looking to enact this plan of marking at least 1 player out from EK completely. I thought maybe they'd go back to their standard sort of... Here's number 4, Mowat, moves the ball out to that left wing. There's so much space, but there's also an inspired goalkeeper, Mohamed Banrama. That's his 3rd save of the game, 3rd big impact of the game, so it keeps it to 3 goals. And with 1 minute left, a spin was attempted from the left back position. Olympia just need to hold on to it now. They can spend this minute trying to get their 1 goal scored in the last 10 seconds. gap opens, you go through it, but then you find it blocked by Christian in goal. EK throw the ball straight away, but Christian has been absolutely inspired in that between the sticks for EK since coming on. Pretty hard to beat Ewan Hunter and replace him, but at the moment Christian's making a good argument for it. There's a lob there, he couldn't stop that one. Tried to rush out. I think that was Georgiev with his second goal of the game. He's now just scored as many goals as he's missed through suspension. Or minutes he's missed through suspension, I should say. And as half-time beckons, Olympia still lead, but only just. It was once a 6-goal game. It's down to 4 at one point. It was only down to 2. It's 15-11. Very competitive match all in all from both sides. EK trying to figure out, maybe took a little bit too long from their perspective to figure out what to do with one of their players being marked out of it, but other players started to step up to the plate. Their defence got better, it got more aggressive. They started to be a little bit more brave against the Olympia attack, which obviously are dominated by backcourt shooters. Having said that though, they have managed to find space as soon as EK started to move up the court. Those line passes that we just see there as well, as if right on cue. And you never know, when you need something, you just end up beating your man one-on-one. There's Fitiera with a nice whip into the top corner as well while riding 2 tackles. Right, this is the second match of the day, and before I leave you, just a reminder of what we've got coming up for the British Super Cup today. We've already had Edinburgh beating the Newcastle Vikings to secure 3rd place in the competition for Edinburgh. Today, obviously, is at the moment is Olympia versus EK82. At 2 o'clock, we've got the first of the 2 finals, and that is West London Eagles versus Olympia Women's. And then at 4 o'clock, we've got the final game of the weekend. It's the final for the men's. It's Living is the North East Manchester Hawks, as well as all the presentations and everything like that as well. So you want to be tuning in at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock for all the action. Not to say that this game hasn't been very entertaining as well. I'm excited to see what the second half holds, but we're going to have to wait a couple of minutes before that. So we're going to give you a little bit of a break. Go grab a water, go to the toilet, do whatever you need to do, but be back here in about 10 minutes time with the second half of Olympia versus EK82. Welcome back, everybody, to Olympia versus EK82 in the third place playoff for the men's British Handball, the NorDan men's British Handball Super Cup, I should say, actually. And at the moment, 15-11 to Olympia as it stands. They were about 6 ahead at one point. EK managed to get it back to within 1 or 2. And all of a sudden, a couple of minutes before half-time, Olympia eked it out once again. But there were some really good performances early in that. Late in that first half by the likes of Christian Agbotain in goal, and he's retained his position in goal by the looks of it as well. And I will say a quick apology because I said that Ewan Hunter was the son of Ewan Hunter, which isn't a big leap to make. Son of Ewan Hunter, the CEO of Scottish Handball, but apparently I am wrong. It's Keir Hunter who is his son, who's the goalkeeper for Livingston. So all in all, yeah, a bit of I would say an easy mistake to make, but it was a mistake. So yeah, Ewan Hunter, apparently absolutely no relation to the other Ewan Hunter. Anyway, we get back going, and it is Olympia to start this game off. And a little bit of afters maybe, a little bit of a look from Jonas. Keeley not very happy with some of the comments made either, and you can see they've started even braver than they were before. They're doing exactly what Livingston did against Olympia yesterday, and forcing Olympia to take those sort of shots a little bit further back. Passive play goes up, and another great save by the number 12 of Christian Agbotain even. There he is, Christian. That's another, I would say, another cracking save. That's 4 to his name for the time being. Go for the Kemper. Is that a spin in? No, couldn't quite get it going to Fatiada. It may have been a save. It was a block, unfortunately, between the camera and the goalkeeper. He's given a thumbs up. I'm going to give him the save. I'm going to give him 5 there, just because of the reaction of some of the other players and him to the bench as well. So EK now with the ball. Looked like they were going to go for 2 pivots, but actually they put Keeley out there to the left wing again. Marked out of goal. Marked out of the game by Tome Songardo. And EK don't mind because they've figured out a way of getting through. Rowan Perry, the number 7. He's the danger man. As soon as they brought Keeley off, Olympia noticed that he was going to be the next person they would have to sort out. They started marking him out of the game. Now Keeley's back on. He seems to be the centre of attention. There's a cannon from Chenares off the post. Would have been one hell of a goal. EK can start to go up. Takes a very long shot. He had to be something special to beat De Paolo from there. It looks like Keeley's been left on the floor. Olympia, they transition quickly. They can find the spaces. It's not necessarily what they specialise in. And they get stopped there by Mowat. There's still spaces though, and it's out on the right wing. They found it off the post and in by Salgado. He's not just a defensive specialist. He scored 2 goals from the right winger as well. So Keeley gets the foul. Second half has started with a very intense fashion. 3 minutes in. It was 15-11, 16-12 now. Couple of shots missed, couple of shots scored, and a couple of passes missed as well. De Paolo back in goal for Olympia. As they get the ball back. Jonas now. Balbero's trying to do everything to get himself free. Keeley doesn't really mind, he just goes to mark another person. As Jonas goes for the spin over the head. Christian wasn't having any of it. He is such an important player for EK right now. There are a few too many gaps. The defence is not exactly solid. It's not as it's not as solid as Livingston's was yesterday against Olympia. They're managing to find gaps through, but they're not managing to find the actual goal, which is the most important thing. And that's a lot thanks to the goalkeeper. Olympia may argue that their finishing has been a touch slapdash, but actually I'd say a lot of the saves have been pretty top draw actually as well. As Keeley goes for the spin from the left wing, tight angle, it was going to have to be something very good, and it wasn't exactly that. Trying to force it, he's been starved of the ball here, Keeley. And when you get like that, when you do get the ball, when you do get an opportunity, you feel like you have to force it. That was a forced shot. Bereznicu gets the ball at the line. Here goes Balberas. Goes for the shot. And I think goes through the legs of Christian. Balberas gets his goal. That's his second of the game. There's a 2-minute suspension here for Bereznicu. And I'm guessing, it is a guess because I didn't see it, that he ran through the centre circle within 2 meters of where the ball was being played from. You're not allowed to do that, and because you're stopping the other team from breaking. So you're not allowed to get within 2 meters of the person taking the throw off. And it's a 2-minute suspension if you do and you intercept the ball. Now, a couple of attacking players sometimes try and manipulate that, even if they're not going to pass it. They see the player running within 2 meters off the throw off, and they just chuck it at the player. Oh, that's a penalty. There's a big shout from Keeley. He's asking for a 2 minutes. Sort of semi-understand why, I think. He's already taken 1 penalty, which he didn't manage to score. Second one coming up. No fake, but the same result. De Paulo saves it. And I can understand where he's coming from for wanting that 2-minute suspension, to be fair. It's contact in the air. Fitiera just nicks the ball off the corner. Goes out of play. Olympia already a player down. That would have been pretty disastrous if they'd gone down another player in this 2 minutes. Great bit of play. That's straight in the goalkeeper's face, though. Now, there is a 2-minute suspension. The goalkeeper, De Paulo, on the floor. And that's a relatively, I wouldn't say niche rule, but it's a rule that takes some potential explaining. If you look at the goalkeeper's head, he doesn't move it. Now, if the goalkeeper had moved his head into the path of the ball, it wouldn't have been a 2-minute suspension for the attacking player. But as the goalkeeper's head was stationary, the attacking player threw it straight at his head, and you can see the nice red mark on his left eye and the nose. It's the player's responsibility, the attacking responsibility, to not throw the ball at a keeper's head. Not any other part of his body, which obviously is not ideal. It's not what you want to do as an attacker, but his head is completely off limits. So it's a 2-minute suspension for the EK82 player. And I actually missed who it was. Was it Rowan Perry? 7. Thank you very much, Rowan Perry. It was. And I've just given him a goal, actually. I just realised I thought that something fell off. No, 2-minute suspension now. I think that's EK's first of the game, or at least the first one I've actually catch who it was. Fitiera from the left wing. Bounces it into the top corner. There's lots of space out there on the court now for both teams. Definitely harder from the defensive perspective than it is from an attacking perspective. And Olympia decide that they're going to not make it harder for themselves, but going to defend 4 on the 6-metre line. And in fact, there we go, because they're back up to their full complement now. There's a step into the area by the number 5, Greg Hughes. You get a good amount of space as well, but he stepped in. 18-12, the gap now is 4. And Olympia have an opportunity to extend that gap. Move the ball from left to right, open the spaces up. They step through the middle. Balberas hits the crossbar. Fitiera actually got the rebound, but I don't think he actually made anything of it. Balberas trying his best as Olympia now go really high on Keeley yet again. Look at him. Salgado trying to flap his arms around, making sure that the ball, he's not looking at the ball at all. He's purely looking at Keeley, and he's trying to make sure that if the ball tries to go over the top of his head, he gets hit by one of his arms at least as well. Here's Keeley back on the ball, trying to make something happen. Forces the shot from 9 meters. It's almost looking like the Olympia player was actually blocking his own goalkeeper's pass out then, but it's another good save by De Paulo, one he probably would have expected to save. Doesn't mean it's not just as valuable as some that he wouldn't expect to make. Ooh, Perry almost getting on and intercepting the ball. Here's Jonas moving the ball. Balberas forces the shot. He knows that there wasn't the right decision. The ball goes high and long and into the back of the net. Well, that is one of the best looking goals anyway we've seen so far this weekend. Blair Gavin for EK82. Picking that out of the air one step before he gets into the 6 meters and sticking it into the top corner. Really nice finish. Nearly 9 minutes gone then. 18-13. The gap is as it was, I think, at half time. But EK turn it over. They're not out of this game yet, and a few fast breaks, which we know they're good at. Well, they're good at it, but DePaulo's better at it, it seems, in goal. Even with that black eye, which he probably will inevitably have, he is absolutely on fire, as he was yesterday. That's his 5th crucial save of the game. Only beaten, really, by Christian Agbonten, who at the beginning of this second half, at the end of the first half as well, it was absolutely on fire. He hasn't been able to quite keep Olympia out single-handedly since then, but you can't really blame him for that one. There's lots of space that Olympia are managing to find. At the moment, though, I suppose EK, their defence has improved. The passes to Bereznicu on the line has sort of dried up a little bit for Olympia. There's been a couple of opportunities from the wing, a couple of pop shots from distance for the backcourt shooters, but nothing you would say has been really full on. Here's an opportunity, and it's inside the area. Would have been a nice little finish as Christian was actually running straight out. Keeley gets the other side of his defender for the first time in a while, gets the bounce, gets the foul. Look at that, frustrated man. He's tried everything he can to do it almost single-handedly when he actually does get the ball. And there's going to be a bit of a telling off here for the Olympia defender, and I think a 2-minute suspension or a bit of a calming down, both from Keeley and the Olympia defence. As I said, he cuts a frustrated figure in that headband right now. Here they go. EK. Oh, that's going to be a penalty. From defending inside the area, Jonas. And a stop in play, not because there's only going to be any 2 minutes, but because he's we're just waiting. Try and get that cleaned up. He did end up on the floor, and they've given up with the towels. They've gone for is that toilet roll these days? Kitchen roll? That'd be better, wouldn't it? More than one sheet there. Clearly not plenty. Right, as they step up, slots it to the right-hand side of the goalkeeper. That was number 4 for EK82, Chris Mowat. So Keeley being taken off the responsibility. You can understand why after missing 2, and DePaulo potentially getting the better of him. Mowat this time, who's had a good game himself, especially in defence. Here's Jonas. They're going for a very, very aggressive 3-2-1 now, aren't they? EK82 trying to turn the ball over. Balberas. Is that a travel there? Here go EK. No, I thought they were going to try and ping that over the top towards the right-hand side. .11 minutes gone. The gap is still 4. It was 15-11 at half-time, which is the same gap as what it is now. So EK, despite playing, I would say, a little bit better in the second half, haven't actually managed to claw their way back into it. Trying to clean the floor up, but referees wanted to get on with the game. Keeley going in as that second line. In fact, it looks like they've almost got 3 lines in there now, and the shot comes in. Oh, I'll tell you what, I thought that ended up in the top corner, actually. I was about to go wild. So is the crowd, probably. And as I've said many a time, Olympia, they don't look for the fast breaks. They want to set their attack up, use their physicality, move the defenders around, get through just like that. And when it works, it works. That's Chanez with a smashing goal into the post and in. Nelson Oliveira will probably be a little bit more happy with the performance that he's seen today. Another great save from DePaulo. That always helps as well. That's his 6th vital and impressive save, which puts him about the same as I'd say Christian Agbonten. Might feel like Olympia have actually the Olympia goalkeepers have sort of made more of an impact, but they've sort of shared it out a little bit as well. Mohamed Barnama making 3 vital saves as the referee's coming over. Is there a chat to the officials table? The yellow card comes the way of EK82's bench, one of the coaches, I'm guessing. Well, there are 4 people on the as official coaches for EK82 on the team sheet. I'm going to give the warning to Michael Lavery. Not sure if it was him at all, but the yellow card is sort of half of a 2-minute suspension. It's not quite as bad as that. It's a bit of a warning. There's Trenares trying to get the shot away. Didn't make it happen. Comes off as well for the defensive specialist. Moving the ball out to the left wing. Thrown straight away. I think the defensive specialist that keeps coming on for Olympia is the 26 Pavel. We'll keep an eye out, see who swaps out for Trenares next time, maybe. But again, it's another reason why they don't really... In fact, here is Pavel actually going into the line. There's another reason why they don't necessarily transition quickly when they have to make substitutions between the defence and attack Olympia. But EK do like to transition quickly, and that's exactly what we're about to see. The number 8 goes through. And Marley Bower, nice to see him back on the court. He scored a fair few important goals yesterday. It maybe looked like his weekend was over when he went down with nobody around him, twisting his ankle. Saw him on the broadcast a little later on as well. He was had ice and had it raised and everything, doing all the right things, and it looks like it's worked for him as well because he's managed to get back out there. And it didn't look like he had any trouble sprinting on that ankle and finishing that shot. Oh, Trenares with a massive fake, and the seas opened up for him. That's 4 goals for him. And there's, I don't think a timeout is called. The referees have paused the game again. Not 100% sure. 2-minute suspension for the number 25. Now that'll be for a incorrect substitution. I can only assume, because the delegates down there have decided that they're the ones that have called the 2 minutes. And there is a substitution line, how many metres away from the halfway line? About 7 metres away from the halfway line. And substitutions, the player has to be off the court completely between that substitution line and the halfway line. And once the player is off completely, only then can your new player come onto the court, because otherwise, obviously, it's as if you've got too many players on the court. So there's 2 ways you can get a suspension. 1 is if you haven't waited for another player to come off the court, or 2 if you run off anywhere apart from in between the substitution line and the halfway line. So not sure which one of those that was, but it was one of them for sure. So EK are a player down, and it was Sam Charles, by the way, who's ended up with that 2-minute suspension. 15 to go. And 5 is the difference on the scoreboard as well. Keeley trying to get out from the wing to get involved. Rowan Perry with the shot. They decided to mark both of those players out now, it seems, given that EK are at a deficit. Fitiera, as I said, all you really have to do is move it from left to right. Olympia, with half their players disappearing. Chadira coming on at left back. Trenares, Balberas, Chadira out to Fitiera, and a good save there by the EK82 goalkeeper. It's back to being the number 1, Ewan Hunter. Really nice save by him. And another, I thought it was going to be another save. I think it did come off the goalkeeper, but Trenares, the power of his shot found its way into the back of the net as the timeout is called by EK82. Little replay of Trenares faking the pass, finding the space, and it was a touch of Ewan Hunter that we heard. That would have been a quite sensational return to the sticks. That would have been, but still, one save was very good. Olympia, I'm sure, will think there's plenty of room to improve, but they're doing what they need to secure third at the moment. EK have been in this position before, though they came back in it in the first half. It was helped a little bit by Olympia getting a suspension. EK need to ride this suspension period out, this power play that Olympia have. Ride it out. Come up with a plan to get back into this game. They've been fairly successful on the fast breaks. If it wasn't for Paolo, they would be a lot closer. But then you could say if it wasn't for Christian Agabontain, Agbontain even, my apologies, it would have been a lot further away, Olympia, as well. So the goalkeeper's played an equal part in this game. "14 minutes to play, 6 goals to the good for Olympia, and a power play in act as well." EK has to be a little bit careful that passive play doesn't get instantly called. I know they're just playing around with attack, but one could argue that it's sort of on purpose. Here we go. They're starting to play the ball. Keeley gets it from the left back, looks for the right wing, lots of space over there. Mowat doesn't take advantage though. He only used about half the space available to him, and this is an unusual scene. It's Olympia going for a fast break. Clearly Georgiev hoping to go a little bit quicker than the rest of his teammates, who finally join him now. Trenez into Bezanicu. No, it's not Bezanicu anymore, is it? It's the number 26. Pavel. His first goal of the game. Tatarinchev then with his normally coming on in defence. You can see at both Pavel and Bezanicu, the two central defenders. Bezanicu this time in this half though is the one that keeps coming on and off for Trenez, having to run all the way from that right back position. It's a long way to run from right back to off the bench every single time, then to get a defender on before the likes of EK have broken up the pitch. But that's the risk that Olympia have chosen to pick, so they can have a bit more of a solid defence and a more solid attack, a more well-rounded attack and defence. EK look to get up then. Bezanicu's back in. Lots of space on the left wing. You expect that to go in. You don't expect it to go wide. And that's exactly what's happened for Ewan Duff, who's gone a little bit quiet in the second half of this game. Very much was a presence in the early stages of the first half, but hasn't been able to really make an impact in this second half, which is a bit of a shame for him. A bit of a shame for EK as well, as Olympia dropped the ball. And here goes a fast break. Keeley with the spin. Gets the goal. That's what he'll enjoy. Nice little smart finish there. Really nicely done on the break. So look at this. EK have gone for a 4-2 defence now. We don't see particularly often. It's almost bordering on 3-3 actually. Really high up. And Trenez picks up some momentum. Doesn't bother him. Here's Mowat. Doesn't get through. And Trenez is showing a lot more of the potency that we're used to seeing him for the majority of the season. Mowat goes for the shot over the two central defenders. Always going to be a bit difficult there. Who was that nearly stacking it? Number 22, Chadira. He's actually tying his shoelaces. If that was the bomb, that would have been rather embarrassing. 23-16 though. The gap has eked out to 7 goals, hasn't it? And well, for EK82, 7 goals, 10 minutes. It's not that they can't score 7 goals in 10 minutes, it's whether or not they can stop Olympia scoring them. Fitiera, and it's wide. They've tried that a couple of times now, with that sort of Kemper style, and Fitiera going for that spin. Hasn't worked at the moment. That doesn't mean it's not going to work. He's clearly got the wrist for it. He's clearly got the leap for it as well. As Ewan Duff, again, looks for the finish. But De Paolo is at the moment just quite simply unstoppable in that goal. All players are equal in handball, and well, goalkeepers are no exception. Everybody thinks that you just go in there and flail your body around, see what happens, try and get hit by the ball. And in essence, that is a very basic way of looking at it. But there is so much more technical ability towards it. Ewan Hunter just showed it off there as well. We've seen a couple of players who really perfected their art. And trust me, goalkeeping at the high level is a dark art. Bereznicu gets a 2-minute suspension and a penalty awarded to EK. 2-minute suspension, you get the feeling, is almost going to be more important than the penalty. This obviously is going to start off this power play quite well if they get it in. Mowat scored 1, scored 2. They get 1 back, and they get 2 minutes where they can try, get the ball back, get up the court, and score. They're going to need 2 or 3 goals without reply in this period. And look at how aggressive they're going. It's a full 3-3 defence. No line player to worry about. They're getting the second line in now from the wing. And it's a timeout called by Olympia. If you are new to handball or you're not that well versed and you might be slightly confusing of why I'm shouting out all these random numbers in random orders, say 3-3 or 4-2 or 6-0, 5-1, 3-2-1 and all that sort of thing, it's based on the defensive formation. So in an attacking formation, quite often you just see the 1. It's with a pivot player, 2 wingers, 2 halfbacks and a centre with a goalkeeper and net. Sometimes you can go with 2 pivots, but really people don't really go for that one sort of thing. There's a lot more variation in defence. If it's a 6-0 defence, that means all 6 of your out-court players are around the 6-metre line, the goalkeeper's area, making one big block, basically, one big wall, and moving left to right. There's not much pressure on the backcourt players of the attacking team, but you sort of stifle the wingers. A 5-1, you put a little bit more pressure into disrupting the play. That means you have 5 players around the 6-metre line. 1 player potentially between the 7 metres and the 9 metres. The 9 metres is the dotted line. Trying to disrupt the play, maybe get some interceptions and put some pressure on the centre defence. A 4-2 is when you have 4 players around the 6-metre line, 2 players putting the pressure up on a half-back and a centre, or maybe 2 half-backs, maybe setting a trap. They can go very aggressive. 3-3, which is what we're seeing EK at the moment, is 3 players around the 6-metre and 3 really high up from the 9 metres and beyond. There is a 5-0-1 and everything, and it's all about different levels and stages about where you press. I would argue that this 3-3 is actually a 3-0-3. And Olympia managed to just about find a way through as well. Ewan Hunter couldn't get the save. EK trying to get the advantage. It's inside the area though. So Olympia have actually levelled up things in this power play. Ewan Duff again not able to get it. So for, say, Olympia, where they have some very strong backcourt shooters, you maybe want to press them a little bit higher. Hence the 3-3 defence. The problem with the 3-3 defence, it basically goes man-to-man, player to player. And if you get a momentum from one of these Olympia players, there's not much stopping them, they're that physical. Good pass there, and that's the other fear, as the EK goalkeeper, Ewan Hunter, makes another great save. That's his 3rd big save, I think even since he's come back on. Inside the keeper's area, EK have a chance to turn it over, and I think one of the Olympia players is actually stuck in the netting at the other end, which means there are 2 players down, only 4 defenders, and EK haven't managed to find a way through. And worse than that, they've thrown the ball away. Georgiev now stands at the other end of the court because he was basically tangled there as if he was on a fishnet. But Olympia, actually, they didn't get their head up quick enough to see that he was all alone up there. So here they go. I think they're back up to their full complement of players as well. I'm not sure. Fatiera looks like he's playing at this sort of left-back position hybrid. So maybe they're not quite up there, but they do get a penalty. And that is Pavel's impact from the line. Fatiera steps up. He's got a good wrist. Hell of a finish. What's he got in locker for us? Sending the number 6 back. Oh, well, he tried the fancy flick. It didn't work for him. Ewan Hunter with another save. 6.5 minutes to go, 24-17. It's not beyond the wit of man. EK can do this if they manage to actually break up the court a little bit, but they also have to stop Olympia scoring, and the problem is the more you push forward, the more you force it like that, the less likely you are of actually scoring and then getting back as well, because you're committing so many players forward. Olympia trying to take advantage, but they're not specialists in fast breaks. They don't get back though. Keeley gets his goal. Almost to a polite round of applause from the crowd outside that I can hear. Even though we are a lot closer to EK's East Kilbride than we are Olympia in London. It's almost as if Olympia have actually travelled with more support. That's thanks to the fact that obviously the Olympia women's are involved as well. It's been a weekend away for those guys. As Georgiev scores yet another goal. I think that's his 4th of the game. Keeley getting bullied back. He's managed to break away free though. And he scored. Everybody just switched off. And Keeley, well, reacted the best out of everyone. He got the foul, played it straight off the other defender, the other attacker. Olympia decided not to switch on. Thought there was a bit something suspect on it. You got to play to the whistle. It's a 6-goal game. 5 minutes to go. Again, I wouldn't say it's beyond the wit of man. EK need to pick themselves up. This could well be on the cards, especially the way that Olympia have decided to start playing, where they just stop dead. Here they go. They've gone for the long pass over the top. That may be a little bit forcing it. You don't need to go that direct. Referee's bringing it back. But there are certainly gaps there. There's a lapse of concentration from Olympia, especially in the last sort of 2 minutes or so. Perry goes for the shot. That's a bit forced, but there's the recovery. The rebound scored by the number 6, Ben Muir, once again. Haven't seen him or said his name for a little while, but his 4th goal of the game. I didn't even see him in amongst all that sea of yellow. Look how aggressive they're going. It is effectively man marking now. It's not necessarily just a 3-3. It is just player for player, isn't it? And Olympia managed to ride the tackles. Pavel gets another goal. His 2nd. Here goes EK. Still a 6-goal game. 3.5 minutes. I said it was beyond the wit of man. It wasn't beyond the wit of man. It's a 5-goal game. It's a miracle that's needed though, isn't it? Rowan Perry, with what I think is his 4th, may well be his 5th. Bounce it into the line. Good defence there by the number 6, Ben Muir. Holding on to that shoulder, actually. There's a run from Georgiev on the blind side. 5 goals to his name. It didn't start the game very well for him, did it? He came on replacing Tomo Salgado in defence. Instantly got 2 minutes, but since then he's managed to get 5 goals. There's Keeley taking the bounce and taking the goal. There's going to be a 2-minute suspension for Pavel for around the net contact. So even though he's been fairly peripheral figure, Keeley, in this game, even missing penalties, so this doesn't include penalties, obviously, Ryan Keeley is actually up to 6 goals, which is equal contribution to his team as Christian Agbontain. I count Christian's crucial saves as goals because they are quite as important. Number 88 for Tierra getting his 3rd. And actually, amazingly, to add to that stat about Keeley being a peripheral figure, with those 6 goals, he's actually equal top goal scorer with Mantas Trenares, the Olympia right back. That's not the way to beat him, though, is it? 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. And a timeout called by Olympia. And I was just about to go through some of the other top goal scorers as well as the game, so I might as well do that now. Trenares has got 6, Georgiev with 5, Bereznicu with 5 as well. Fitiera with 3, Balberas with 2. It's a big difference compared to the game that he had yesterday, but luckily some of his other teammates like Trenes have stepped up to the plate. Salgado got 2, and Pavel at the moment has got 2, whereas for EK, Rowan Perry with 4, may well be 5, I think I missed one of his. Chris Merritt with 2, Greg Hughes with 1, Ben Muir with 4, Marley Bower, nice to see him out on the court, let alone scoring goals. He's got 1 to his name. Ryan Keeley with 6, Ewan Duff with 2. He's had a lot of opportunities in this second half as well. He'll be disappointed that he hasn't come away with about 5. And we got Duncan Home with 1, and Blair Gavin with 1 as well. In terms of goalkeepers, I've got Matthias De Paolo is making 7 crucial saves. I've got Christian Agbontain with 6, sorry. Ewan Hunter with 4, and Mohamed Banrama with 3 as well. So they really have been shared out, but both all 4 goalkeepers that we've seen in this game, or for the majority of this game, have been sensational. Definitely pulling their weight. Had a fair share of 2-minute suspensions as well, actually. We've had Georgiev, we've had Balberas, we've had Bereznicu, we've had Perry and Sam Charles, all with 2-minute suspensions. Here goes Trenes. He got through the first wall, couldn't get through the second. 6 goals is the gap. Oh, the fake there, even fooled the cameraman. The ball didn't go in the back of the net though, which is the crucial bit. EK can break now. They are swapping defenders and attackers, which is why they may be having to slow down just a touch. Third place is on the line here, remember, and that's a shot for the number 15. That's Nielsen. I was calling number 7 Nielsen for a long time. Well, we finally do see the number 15 get on court. Tried to get his first goal. Wasn't happening. Maybe EK trying to give some players an experience. Number 24 as well now, Cameron McEwen. We haven't seen him too much over the course of this game. Saw him have a little bit of a features yesterday. 1 minute to go. They're going to try their best to make a name for themselves. Chadira trying to move the ball. There was lots of space for Fitiera, but he couldn't get there. Here goes Pavel. Passive play is attempted to be called, and it is called as well. But that's a great pass into Pavel. Took out about 4 defenders with 1 simple bounce pass. I'm not even sure who it was, actually. It was defending on the right wing. Was it Berenice? No, it wasn't Berenice because he is a line player. Was it Balberius? I feel like it was the 23, Thomas Balnonasis. 15 seconds left. Keeley knows that this game is done. Here is Trenes. He gets another goal, and I think that might claim him as the top goal scorer for the game. The buzzer will sound to crown Olympia as the bronze medalist here in the NorDan British Handball Super Cup men's category. EK will be disappointed with 4th out of this competition. They definitely played very well. They played their part, and ultimately Olympia's backcourt power were the ones that came out on top. That's not all they had today though. Bereznicu and Pavel from the line weighed in with a fair few goals. 5 for Bereznicu and Pavel with 2, so 7 in total from the line. The wings as well, Fitiera and Georgiev came in with 8 between them, those guys. But really, Trenes with 7, Jonas with 2, Chadira with 1. Were really some of the stars of the show. And they created lots of opportunities for penalties. EK82 did a fantastic job as well. Rowan Perry tried to step it up when Keeley was marked out of the game. Christian Agbontain was fantastic in goal. So was Ewan Hunter. I'd say Christian Agbontain definitely a worthy player of the match. If the opposition, Nelson Oliveira, decided to give him to him. As you can see, the Olympia celebrations all starting in front of the Olympia women's team who play in the final in the next game, which comes up at 2 o'clock. They'll be hoping to ride the wave that the men's team have started here and take the gold medal as well, and the trophy, and that spot in potential European places. That's what Olympia men have got. The women have already secured it because it's the top 3 in the competition. Wouldn't it be one hell of a weekend away for that club if they could manage to get some some money to get that to going. It was a great game. EK will feel a little hard done by. They played well, but in the end, not well enough. So it is Olympia who come out on top. We're going to give you a couple of minutes break from my voice. We'll be back for presentations after you see some of the highlights of what was a fast, frantic, but fantastic game of handball. Yes, welcome back, and we are here to see the player of the matches. Unsurprisingly, in my opinion, Mateus De Paulo is the Olympia man of the match, and well, you can't argue with it, can you? He's very pleased with that, and I don't think any of the Olympia players will be too disappointed that they lost out on that one, because he was a man mounted in goal. And the player of the match nominated by the Olympia team for EK is the opposing goalkeeper, Ewan Hunter. Great game by him. Could have been either of them, to be honest, but Ewan Hunter with that player of the match. He'll be disappointed with fourth in this tournament, but with the player of the match in the final game, he looks a little bit perplexed. I don't think he should be perplexed. When he watches this game back, Ewan was fantastic. So, yeah, hopefully he'll have lots of kind messages in the on his phone to go back to. The fourth place team then, EK82, Scottish National Cup champions, runners-up in the league, and here in the British Super Cup, overall fourth place. But again, had their heads held high, hopefully, because they played a fantastic 2 games, almost beating Hawks yesterday. They weren't satisfied with the performance yesterday. They came out to try and maybe resurrect that one a little bit. Weren't as disciplined as they were hoping. But today, a bit more disciplined. But unfortunately, they came out against a bit of a different outfit. Olympia, a very different team to North East Manchester Hawks. A bit more physical, different play style. And yeah, just didn't go the way of EK. But we hope to see them back next time. And it looks like the bronze medalists are getting ready. The presentation committee, shall we say. Ewan Hunter, the CEO of Scottish Handball. Megan Kemp, the logistics coordinator for NorDan UK as well, presenting the bronze medals here and getting their photos taken. Chadira, the first one to step up. Panorama after that as well. And the third person you can see there, well, the third out of the four, there's a photographer obviously as well, who's doing a brilliant job this weekend, but I unfortunately don't know his name. But credit to him is obviously Julia Stenhouse as well. But yeah, in the finals we may have a slightly different looking presentation committee. And Megan Kemp at the moment, the one giving out the medals and doing a brilliant job of it as well, I have to say. Third is not what Olympia came to play, but after third in the league and going into the Super Cup, they'll be very pleased to come here and flex their muscles, at least in this match at least, so they'll probably think that they performed a little bit better as the 23 Thomas Balnonas gives a little bit of extra to the camera. Brilliant stuff. And last but not least, a very happy coach, I'm sure, Nelson Oliveira even. We will have interviews coming up for you as we see the celebrations from Olympia. It will be with the captains, with Pete in a couple of minutes' time. We do have 2 more games. That's it for the third place playoffs, which means it's the big time. We're going into the finals. Straight up after this, we have the women's final. West London Eagles versus Olympia, followed by, at 4 o'clock, Livingston versus North East Manchester Hawks. Join us in about 20 minutes' time for that women's final. We can't wait for it. Neither can the players. Well done to Olympia. They come home in third. See you in a minute.
Okay, thank you for joining us, Ben. Congrats on this weekend. Not the result you were looking for today, but how's the team feeling after that match?
I think we're pretty happy. Do you want me to take it? Or? Yeah, I think we're pretty happy with how we played this weekend. We had a big weekend last weekend. It was a Scottish Cup final and we won. It was the first time we beat Livingston in a few years. So that was a great result for us. Everyone's kind of riding high. And then maybe the intensity wasn't quite what it should have been yesterday. And then it just kind of carried over into today. And I think everyone was just a bit beat up as well. So.
Yeah, you had the Scottish Cup win last week, and the result yesterday in that match against Hawks was improved on the year before. Have you got some confidence from these sort of results coming at the end of this season and that improving performance?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we're scared to play anyone in the UK. We talked about that before the game. Like, we thought we would have probably put in a better performance there against Olympia, but we know we can beat Hawks, we know we can beat Livingston, and we'll see how they do today. But yeah, 100%. Plus, we've currently got 4 of our starting 7 injured, and our full starting backcourt, apart from one player, is on the sidelines right now. So we've got all those guys coming back next season, as well as the squad you saw over the weekend. So I'm pretty confident that we can go a lot further next year than we did this weekend.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be a great season coming up next year. Congrats again for this weekend and this season. All the very best.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your time, man. Appreciate it. Cheers. Thanks.
congratulations on winning the bronze medal in the Super Cup. How's the team feeling straight after?
We are very happy. We are very happy. We was a bit down after yesterday's semi-final, obviously. I don't know what happened. Yesterday it wasn't our game, but after the game we had a team speak. We talked all together in the hotel. We had a good dinner. We had fun together. We rest in the night, and we did our job today. We did our job today, and we are very happy.
You certainly came out and you were playing with a lot of passion for the entire game. How much did this match and winning the bronze medal mean to the team after the disappointment yesterday?
As I said yesterday, we were so down because we lost this semi-final. We came here obviously to win it, and the things didn't go like we wished. But we are happy for the bronze medal. We're really happy. We won it. I think I'm very grateful for the guys that I'm playing with them. We are not just teammates. We are really friends. As I said, we had fun yesterday. We're trying to motivate each other, and I'm really thankful for them.
And you've got the women's team from Olympia are playing in the gold medal match coming up next. How nice is it to have that club support around when you're up in Scotland playing here?
Well, we're gonna be here for the ladies game. We're gonna support them. Thanks to our girls as well for supporting us, because it was amazing. And we're gonna be here. We're gonna shout our voices and try to help them to win it, so they have a chance to win Triple Crown this year, because they are already champions of English. They playing cup final, and now they're playing final. Hopefully they're gonna win all of them.
Well, enjoy watching that match. Once again, congratulations. Enjoy the celebrations tonight.
Thank you guys. Look for Olympia.